Ladies are leaving perfectly good men. I will debate anyone on this. This bullshit about these women are leaving men because these men are not keeping their side of the household chores, and they're not taking the emotional load and carrying the emotional load for the relationship. Stop it. That is not what's happening. Women are just leaving perfectly good men because of bullshit they see on social media.
Marriages for women to leave are often when they are married to husbands who are good guy presenting. And I want to explain this to you because these husbands, they don't yell, right? They don't cheat. They don't disappear. They show up when they're supposed to. They will help if you tell them exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it every single time, right? They're not necessarily abusive. They're not really chaotic. They're not necessarily scary and having, huge outbursts. They're literally just there. And I think for so many women, this is what makes it so hard to name and so hard to leave, because nothing is technically wrong, right? But nothing is deeply right either. Like, he doesn't proactively make your life easier. He doesn't anticipate your needs. He doesn't carry the mental labor with you. He just sits there waiting for instructions, like a puppy dog waiting for a command, right? And when you're exhausted and you're resentful and you're already drowning, this will make you feel like you're crazy, because you have friends whose husbands are way worse than that. You've seen the horror stories. You've seen the TikToks. You know that worse guys out there exist, and your husband isn't necessarily like that. He's a good guy, right? But good guy presenting isn't the same as being an engaged and invested and a participative partner. Bare minimum behavior wrapped in politeness is still bare minimum. And what makes it so draining is that you can't point to one big thing. It's not like one big thing happened in your marriage. It's literally death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's that you're not considered without asking. You're never relieved from your duties without delegating to him first. You're never being prioritized without being prompted or reminded. And then you start wondering if you're crazy. You start wondering if you're asking for too much, wondering if you're just too hard to please, if you'll never be happy. But you're not asking for too much. You're not too hard to please. You are literally asking for partnership, but you're getting this passive participation, and you're being expected to tolerate it because it could always be worse.
So obviously, fundamentally, what she's saying is incorrect. What's going on here is that something that we've been pointing out for a while is that women keep saying we're leaving these husbands because they don't do their part of the emotional labor or whatever. The real answer is you don't feel the need to communicate, or that you should even have to communicate. This guy should just read your mind when it comes to all these different problems. You have a perfectly good husband and you want to leave him. 80% of divorces in this country are initiated by women, and it's because women are more picky. The divorce rate amongst lesbian women is higher than it is for gay men because women just would rather leave relationships. And she needs to figure out a way to leave her man without feeling shit about it. So she made this video. No, you had a perfectly good husband. No, you are absolutely impossible to please. All the things that you're saying that aren't true are true. Oh, but he did the bare minimum. No, you being able to tell him what to do and him sitting there like puppy dog. I'm sorry. That is your fault for being a bad communicator. And the fact that you want to leave your husband and somehow want absolution for those of us on TikTok who are watching your video, I'm not giving it to you. You are exactly what you're describing. You are impossible to please. You are crazy, and you're leaving a good man for no reason because of propaganda that you see on social media. That's what's actually happening, in case you weren't aware. Okay, there's a part that she said that is the most pernicious, and she says, he didn't anticipate my needs. Ladies, I don't receive that. It's called communication. You need to read Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. Communication is the responsibility of the sender. So many relationships end because women think that men are supposed to read their minds. Stop it. This was incredibly toxic what this woman said. He didn't anticipate my needs. Then say your needs with your mouth. Then we don't have this issue. You left a perfectly good man, and you want to go on TikTok and have us forgive you for what you're doing. No, it's as bad as it looks. You left a perfectly good man for no reason, and most likely because you were persuaded to do so because you saw some other woman on TikTok telling you to do so. No, you want absolution, you're not getting it from me. What do you think?
I actually think she has some points.
Okay.
So say that you and I been dating.
Mm-hmm.
We drink coffee every morning.
Nice.
Usually I go up earlier and I make the coffee. So if you get up earlier, I'm in bed. Do I need to tell you, can you make me a coffee? So if you're there in the morning, are you like, I wonder if you would like
Okay, so here's the thing. If you tell me to make you coffee and you say I like it every morning,
all right.
I should need to tell you. If I drink it every morning, we've been dating,
but at some point you have communicated to me that you drink it every morning. The point is you did communicate to me that you drink it every morning.
But we've been living together for 6 months. You know, I drink coffee every
So
morning.
if I make you I'll make you the coffee, but I would do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
but I would do that for my guy friends too. That's
yeah.
not that what you're doing right now. Like we
Even to the guy
when I
that's
was when I,
sleeping
no
in
when I
my
was in
room.
when I was in the military, you might make a cup of coffee for some other airman who's in your unit. There's nothing weird
No,
about
but I'm
that.
just saying some needs you need.
Correct.
So like I had a guy in Sweden. He knew I loved Snickers. He goes to the gas station, puts gas in the car. He's like, I bet Puma would like a Snickers. He comes home with the Snickers.
Yes.
Hey, now I've been talking about a book or something. He's like, he ordered a book or he came home with the book. Some needs, I think you need to, you can't just, if I'm going to give you directions every time, I'm like, can you go and get the
No, I'm
car
not
washed?
I'm not talking about directions every time. I'm
Yeah.
talking about what she if we were to able to watch her relationship from a third party point of view, what she's expressing is that I have communicated this to him and he needs to anticipate my needs. But if we were to watch it, we would see she never communicated it to him. She legitimately wants telepathy. That is because I've been in a lot of relationships, and I also talk to a lot of people who are marriage counselors, and the number one reason, ladies, if you don't know this, the reason why your relationship is going to end because you think he's supposed to know. Stop it. You are not so special. You're not some princess. Everybody has to read your mind. I can't hear it if you don't say it. And men being the ones asking for more communication, holy shit. How about that with your therapy speak? I'm asking for more communication. You need to communicate with me more. And if you have a problem with the fact that I didn't anticipate your needs, it's because you didn't say it. I can't imagine some 06 in the Air Force, some colonel coming up to me being like, Captain Sartain, why didn't you anticipate my needs? Sir, Colonel, where's the orders?
No, but I don't remember what the book is called. It's like Women Are from Mars or whatever.
Men Are
Venus.
from
Yes,
No,
Hokum
but
by John Gray.
Yes, so
Hokum.
we're home.
It's called
You-
Hokum
you
by
just-
John Gray.
You just know, like these towels has been here. They need fucking washing. Most guys will have that towel up there. They will not put it or change bed clothing. It's like the last dish is gone. Well, should I maybe do the dishwasher? The car need, like, I can't tell you, like, okay, I washed the car last time.
well, I mean-
Can you do? No, but sometimes you guys are like, well, everything is fine. Everything is right. Nobody's dying. Like,
Nobody's dying.
I gotta.
How
Okay.
about just asking for feedback?
No
I'm really
shit.
on
Yes.
feedback. I'm asking for criticism. Hey, is there anything that you like me to change or improve this week? Or hey, how am I doing as a girlfriend or even as a friend? You know, we're platonic friends. Like, hey, how am I doing as a friend? What could I do for you as a friend
I think there's a, like
or as a girlfriend?
whenever she's in a state right now where she's unhappy or thinks she's unhappy, she's looking for reasons to get out of the relationship.
Yes,
is
that's
what
my
she's
point.
doing.
This is all
it's
cope. I'm not
bullshit
saying what you're saying
rationale.
isn't right.
Yeah.
I would anticipate if you
bullshit
told me you
rationale.
wanted something and I would anticipate your needs every once in a while. That is not what she's talking about. She's just looking for a
She's
reason
looking for an
to
exit.
leave a good guy. And the other thing is, what if he's he's putting food on the table? Like, for instance, am I always the one to clean everything in my apartment? No, but I have a housekeeper who does.
With
So
this-
do I not get credit for hiring the housekeeper with the money I made? Or do I need to be, it needs to be me sweeping up all this shit? No, this is ridiculous. I'm just because I see this
I
all
know
the
that-
time. This survey's been done. I forgot the guest that was on Scott Galloway's podcast, and it was a lady who worked at a dating app company, and she was saying we did a survey and we asked men what percentage of you would be happy with an 80% solution, meaning you have 80% of everything you want in a partner.
50.
And then they asked women, how happy would you be with a man who's 80% of everything you wanted in a partner? 75% of men said that they would be happy with a woman who was 80% of everything they wanted. 25% of women said that they would be happy with a man who was 80% of what they wanted. One more time. I'm down. Dude, call them up for me. Bring them out. I will debate anyone on this. Women are leaving perfectly good men for nothing. That's what's happening most of the time right now. Hold on, I'm going to say this real quick. Ladies are leaving perfectly good men. I will debate anyone on this. This bullshit about these women are leaving men because these men are not keeping their side of the household chores and they're not taking the emotional load and carrying the emotional load for the relationship. Stop it. That is not what's happening. Women are just leaving perfectly good men because of bullshit they see on social media. Period. I will argue with this with anyone. Good relationships are being ruined by bullshit. Like Derek Jackson and Chris GQ Perry talking about you can tell that your man's cheating on you because of a dream you had or because of a shift in the energy in the room. Get the fuck out of here. This is the problem. All of this about, oh my God, these men are not keeping up their end of the bargain. Stop it. I've talked to several divorce attorneys and they say the same thing. That is exactly what I'm saying. Women, I'm not saying there aren't shitty dudes. There are definitely shitty dudes. I'm saying is, for the most part, women are leaving perfectly good men because of what they're seeing on social media.
Because perfect is the enemy of good.
Yes.
And that's really where this goes. And you can use that as an exit for damn near anything. So if it's like, well, he's not meeting my needs. Well, I'm not happy. And when you live in an era of no fault divorce, that's all it takes. All you need is just like some kind of rationale to bug out. Like, I don't even think and that's the thing is like, there's going to be, when you're in a relationship, especially a long relationship, when you're in a long relationship, there's going to be that routine. You're going to understand what the other person's about, right? Like what you were saying, like, oh, can you just like put the towel over here, or well, see, the thing is like, I had to actually look this up. Did you know that, and this is an evolutionary biological fact, that women have a better sense of smell than men do?
Yes.
Do you believe that? Why would that be? Because women have to smell for the pathogens, right?
Yes.
They have to, if it smells rank, like I can be in the backyard and we were watching our dogs run around and my wife's like, I smell weed. Like I smell like, because somebody
evolutionarily,
I don't smell
evolutionarily, women
thing.
procured more food for children than men did. So yes, their ability to smell would be better.
So they have a better sense of smell. So it's like, how else does that translate into sort of like, okay, go take the towel and put it over here, put your, stop wearing those pants and put it in the wash, whatever else, that kind of stuff. I think a lot of that has to do with the sort of propensity, the proclivities for women to want to maintain a living space that is probably a little bit more, let's say, antibacterial than a guy, because guys, first of all, we don't smell and we don't think it's that as big a deal, but women do, because there's a possibility that you have a child and maybe that some kind of pathogen is there. Maybe you don't want to, it's this revulsion response, or it's like, oh, we don't want snakes and spiders to get into the baby's crib kind of thing, right? So we want to protect that. Even if there's no baby at all, it's just that sense that there's got to be that. Of course, then what fucks all of this up is when you see those pictures of these women's like bathrooms, and it's like nothing but this big cluster of like, makeup and deodorant and hairspray and everything else, and you didn't put the toilet seat up. It's but like I honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that women have a sort of a biological evolutionary sort of propensity anyways to want to be maybe a little bit more hygienic than guys do in some ways.
Makes sense.
Maybe that's weird.
I was gonna say, in terms of communication, men are simple creatures, just tell them. But I would always ask for feedback first, like, hey, is there anything that I can do to help you and your goals? And I would actually have Q1 and Q2 like assessments of each other and our goals, and like mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, what our goals are every quarter. And then on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, just ask, how am I doing? How am I doing as a girlfriend? How am I doing as a friend to you?
Put one in the chat if you're ready to date Stephanie. Put one in the chat if you're the one. You're the one who could change her. You're the one who could fix everything. Put one in the chat if you're ready.
I would ask first, hey, what can I do to help you? And then they'll think back, be like, maybe this and this and that. I would say, then they would usually accept the same thing. How can I help you? What can I do to help you or change? Be like, when you make coffee, can you make me coffee too? It would mean a lot.
I saw this one video. Some chick was talking about how great it was, or how hot it would be, like if they had a man who like actually got stuff done that needed to get done without having to be asked, like just doing it anyways. I'm like, yeah, I can understand why you would think that, but then it would become normal and it would become like routine, and you wouldn't appreciate it because he's just doing what he's supposed to do, right?
Men are so simple. In fact, I just keep like a honey to-do list on the fridge, and anytime you just put it on the list,
get a gold star.
Or you don't even have to do that. Whatever. It's like, I mean, I understand guys should already know if you're going to have like traditional roles in a marriage or a relationship like that. If you're going to say that guys need to go and do like my message to this chick, if you're going to say that guys need to be able to read your mind or go and do these things, fine, but you should also read my mind, and you should also know what I need before I have to ask it. Why is it always a one-way street when it comes
because
to this? You don't see, there's no guys on TikTok going, you know what, she's a great chick, but she should know that I really want to have hot monkey sex on Fridays and not on Thursdays, and God, what do I got to do to get a perfect woman? She's kind of good, but then I see these other chicks on Instagram and everything, and they seem much more perfect than my guy is, but or maybe they're worse, but I perfect is the enemy of good. Imagine a guy basically saying the same thing, just flip the script. you get banned on TikTok.
But isn't that also what's been like put out? Like if you look back at 40s, 50s, women stayed home with kids. They didn't have a job. They took care of the kids. And all of a sudden women are working. I want my own income. I'm not going to be dependent on you. And then you leave. Like it happened to my mom and dad. My mom stayed home. My dad worked. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I found somebody else. And then that's my mom. Like I worked as a cleaning lady for hours.
So
no, but I'm just saying that it's changing that like now women have job. They make same salaries.
No,
I have the opportunity.
You're Scandinavian.
I'm not saying that's the full extent of it.
You're Scandinavian. Actually, it's more prevalent in Norway, Sweden, Finland for women to make more money than men under the age of 30. It's actually further along there than it is anywhere in the world. Where you are from is the most egalitarian place in the entire world. And women want men who make even more money than them. Even in Sweden, they do that. It's like there's no way to solve this. It's just this black hole, this like pit, this never-ending pit.
No, but in Sweden we actually have a really fun word. It's called jämlikt. It means equal. So like here, if I go out with guys, like we go out and it goes without saying, I don't know you guys, but the guys pay.
Yes.
It just goes like I even offer because I'm from Sweden. I'm like, I want to pay my part.
Yeah.
And every guy goes, no, like the girls don't pay. If you go to Sweden, the guys will go like, okay, so you had that and you had drinks.
Itemizing everything.
No, you go out. My sister is single. She went on date and they went for a beer. And the guy is like, well, are you gonna sell me your beer? Like no, but everything is equal. I did the dishes. Yeah. And it's part of me. I'm like, well, I did the dishes yesterday. Today, Denise did. It's like, I have it a little bit in me, but it's very like in Sweden, it needs to be very equal. I pay half, you pay half, you have your money, I have my money. It's not like, oh, we go out and I assume the guys pay.